Jay and Kevin Show. Jay Daniels.
Wasn't a big fan of alcohol.
Whoa.
Kevin James.
That's the first time you've ever uttered that phrase. Isolate that.
The Jay and Kevin Show on the Big 99.9 Coyote Country.
4410999. Let's play Beat the Show right here and right now. It's all about decades. Beat the show. It's time to beat the show. Beat the show. It's time to beat the show. Hey! Beat the show. It's time to beat the show. Step right up. It's time to beat the show. What? Beat the show. It's time to beat the show. Who? Beat the show. It's time to beat the show. Where? Beat the show. It's time to beat the show. Step right up. It's time to beat the show. Chris Jansen tickets at stake. Beat the show brought to you by Uncle Dan's. Thank you, Uncle Dan's. Appreciate you. Yeah, let's play. Feeling good, Kev?
Yes, the Jay and Kevin Show. I just realized we have now spanned across 4 decades. That doesn't seem possible, but that is true.
Wow. Hey, Seth.
I have no idea how I snuck in, boys, but it's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah. How's everything going for you?
Busy as heck trying to find employees, but, just the usual.
Yeah.
Hey, Seth, you know what? I will let you.
Yeah, I will too.
Right now, you need employees for your business? Say it.
I do.
What do you need?
Lawnmowers.
Okay.
Just people that push lawnmowers.
Yep. And how would they reach you, Seth? Would you like to say that, or would you prefer us to do that at a different time?
You can call me right now at 509-496-8532, or you can find me on Facebook at riversedgelawns.com.
Look at him go. Okay. We'll see what we can do for you. Somebody looking for some work? There
Seth
you go.
I don't want to give Seth compliments ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Right.
He does amazing work.
Okay.
Dude does amazing work. And that's all he gets from me today. And now I hope he gets buried and beat the show.
Seth.
If I win today, I'll get the tickets up to charity. First caller.
Whoa.
Don't try to twist my brain like that.
No, he's trying to make you feel bad about that.
I just want to be... look, boys, all I want to do is I want to beat Kevin. He is currently ahead in our little...
He is.
War of the Worlds or whatever.
Yeah. No, I got you. Okay, so now you want Kevin to get out of here so you can challenge him?
Kev, before you leave, you can practice this with Dalton. The answer to every question is a decade, starting with the 1960s, going until current decade. Okay?
Well, it seems pretty easy to get them right then.
Each decade is only used one time. There are no repeats. There you go.
Oh, and they're not in order.
They're not in order.
Oh, okay. That's
Or are they?
harder.
Or are they?
I'm not going to tell you. I can't tell you that.
Sneaky!
I can't tell you the answers.
Sneaky!
Come on.
All
I
right,
feel like I'm at a disadvantage here.
No. You're totally fine. Okay, so 60 seconds, 7 questions. Well, wait for Kevin to
I'm going to tell you this. You pick Kev.
Yeah.
You're not at a disadvantage ever.
By the way, Seth, I don't know if you listened close enough to what Slim said, but I'm going to tell you right now, if he listens back to this and he hears what he said,
oh no,
he literally said, the answer to every question is a decade.
I mean, I can't.
And no decade is used twice.
I know.
Thank you, Jay. Let's play the game.
Here we go.
Let's play the game, baby. I like what you did. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, Seth, here we go. We start in 1960s is the furthest back we go up until current decade. We start with this. In what decade did George Strait release his first album?
1980 or 70.
WSU Cougar Jack Thompson played quarterback there in what decade? We're throwing Samoan.
1990.
In what decade was Luke Combs born?
Ooh, 1990.
Modern Family started in what decade?
2000.
Making a comeback recently. In what decade was tie-dye at its peak?
Added to what?
At its peak.
Oh, 70s.
In what decade did Alex Trebek pass away?
2020, unfortunately.
Thompson Square released the song Are You Gonna Kiss Me or Not? In what decade?
2010.
Okay. Seth, you got 4 correct answers. You did very well today. Over half of them right. Jay Daniels, What you said, you have my brain right now.
I know.
In the biggest tizzy, because I did say every answer is a decade.
Yeah.
And if Kevin comes in and answers a decade for every question, I have to give him 7 out of 7.
Here's the thing. Kevin!
Here's no way
He's
he
not
was
paying
listening.
attention.
No, he's on Facebook. He's also eaten an entire thing of salsa this morning. His mouth has to be on fire.
Oh, no question. All right, Kevin, here we go. You have same 7 questions, a very similar sounding 60 seconds. Are you ready?
No
Kevin
repeats.
James. No repeats. Best of luck. In what decade did George Strait release his first album?
80s.
Washington State Cougar Jack Thompson, throwing Samoan, played quarterback there in what decade?
Pass.
See,
I get what you did
there.
that.
That's funny.
That was hilarious.
In what decade was Luke Combs born?
Luke Combs was born in the, 80s. No, excuse me. That's going to have to be the 90s.
Okay. Modern Family started in what decade?
That started in it was like 2009 or 2000. So I'm going to say 2000s.
Making a comeback recently in what decade was tie-dye at its peak?
70s.
In what decade did Alex Trebek pass away?
The 20s.
Thompson Square released the song Are You Gonna Kiss Me or Not in what decade?
2010s.
Okay. That's all of them.
Right.
Throwing Samoan. Yeah, doggone it. You had a 7. You had a second. What'd you say?
60s?
Okay. Yeah, you had a second. I would have had to go back to that, so you get that answer in. Here we go. In what decade did George Strait release his first album? Kevin James, you got it. 1981 for King George. Seth said 1970s.
70s.
Kevin takes a 1-0 lead. Jack Thompson, the throwing Samoan, grandfather for our good friend Brooks, baby Brooks. He played quarterback at WSU in the 70s. You both missed that. 60s and 90s were the guesses. He was in the late 70s. Drafted to the NFL in 1979. In what decade was Luke Combs born? Both of you got this right. He's a 1991er. He's in the 90s. You both said that. It's 2-1, Kevin. Modern Family started in, Kevin, you were right there. It was either 2009 or 2010.
Yep.
You settled on 2009. Seth also settled in the 2000s, and that's correct. 2009. So the 2000s puts the score at 3-2. Making a comeback recently in what decade was tie-dye at its peak? You both missed it by 1 decade. It was the 1960s. The mid-1960s is apparently when tie-dye was at its absolute peak.
If I would have just answered Jack Thompson convincingly in the 70s, which is what I thought, then I could have just said tie-dyes in the 60s.
Totally.
It does seem like a 70s thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But you did. But yeah, that's tough because once you've used one, it's hard to go back on it. Kev, you still have a 3-2 lead. In what decade did Alex Trebek pass away? You both got this. It was 2020, so it's the 2020s. And Kevin has a 4-3 lead going into the last question, which was Thompson Square released the song Are You Gonna Kiss Me or Not in what decade? 2011. And you both said the 2010s? That is correct. Kevin, you played very well today. 5 correct answers. Seth played extremely well as well. But only 4 right answers, and Kevin, you broaden your lead. You extend your lead on Seth and beat the show by I think 3, maybe 2 or 3 now.
Huh. Seth, sorry,
Kevin. Why do you only play well when I play?
That's a great
Seth,
question.
It's unbelievable.
It's motivational.
The other day he got 1 right, and today he gets 5.
He gets
right.
5.
No, you're like some sort of. You bring out the best in me, Seth. You always have. I don't know what it is.
Oh, shucks. You know how to make a red man blush.
Boy, I'm glad you said shucks. Hey, Seth, Rivers Edge Lawn Care on Facebook is how people can get a hold of you if they're looking to mow some lawns. I know people are looking for work. Some people are still looking for work. They can get a hold of you there, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks for losing today, bud.
See you, buddy.
Talk to you later.
See you, bud. All right, 4410999. We'll open it up to everybody. Chris Jansen tickets. Caller number 7 right now. Well done, Kevin. Wow. I mean, impressive.
Yeah.